Hello everybody and welcome back to some Dominions 5. We are in the spring in the year 4 of the Ascension Wars, and we are Friwald. Let's see, this is turn 49, and let's go through the turn. I'm hoping that we will discover some mistakes that I've made and I can correct them as we go through it here. But on we go. Here's research in thaumaturgy, and real quick we can note that this turn thaumaturgy level 5 will be complete. Then we're on to conjuration level 8, and we will be going towards the Well of Misery. We cast a flame spirit. I don't know if I said it last turn, but we did a summon wyvern turn with our level 2 air mage, just to get a little bit of spending on our air gems. And hill giant, bone fiends. Then there was a battle in Kratas before all the other battles. So let's start with the magic battle up here. And this one surprised me a little bit. This is Adulation of the Writhing Flesh, the mother of monsters. In here she comes with a midget smasher. Oh, okay. She's size 6, and then when she's attacking smaller beings, she will get a double damage bonus here. So that's why he's doing this thing. Okay. So he's trying to smash my two Angels of Fury here. They are only size 4, so that will work. Okay. Very cool. Interesting. I think that's a very brave move. Let's run the simulation here. We have a little bit of chaff, and then in I think our dudes here are on hold, sadly. It would have been better in this case if they were not on hold, so that she didn't get to cast her spells. But she did, and in they come. Now, she was casting Soul Vortex, and that one got stopped. That thing, I think that's really, really lucky that we cut that one off. That would have been really bad. The body ethereal doesn't really matter. The regeneration does matter. She's up to regeneration 20 with that. She's also blessed, so she has magic weapon, decay weapons, poison resistance, magic resistance. Let's see, anything that matters. Not really. The K would be bad, of course, but I mean, that adds age, and these guys can be really, really old, so they are not worried about that part. Okay, the fight is on between Sariel, Frodo the Angel, and Adulation of the Writhing Flesh, and she's up to 161 hit points. She has a Dominion bonus of 11 here, and right off the bat, I think we saw some injuries here. She is getting hurt. We are hitting her, and she's not really hitting us back. See, that was a good hit. She got a never healing wound, so 20% HP reduction going in. There was a big hit on Frodo the Angel of Fury. He does have regeneration. He's now decaying. Aha. Okay, so that did land on him. H 384. But okay, so we have Sariel here, who's the big champ. He's got at defense skill 27, to her attack 23, whereas poor Frodo only has a defense skill of 16, so nowhere near the same, and he does go down indeed. But that dealt when he went down, he dealt 26 damage back. So we're down to half health here on Mr. and Mrs. Adulation of the Writhing Flesh, and in comes the chaff now. Sariel is standing his ground. She's healing 20 hit points per turn, which is not nothing. Sariel is keeping up with the regeneration at least, damaging her. These small guys will not damage her, but she's hitting them. When she's hitting them, she's not hitting Sariel. He is getting poisoned too by her aura, but he's regenerating faster than that can damage her. So with the small distractions here, Sariel is now getting a bit of a reprieve, while still getting some hits in, and that will also lower her defense skill, of course, giving Sariel a bit of an easier time. Right now, they're not damaging. They sort of needed to be 2 angels to really hurt her. There she got a spell in invulnerability, which will not work against his weapons. I'll speed it up a little bit. There's a big hit again, down to 66. Other big, down to 52. 62. Down to 34. And 6 there, so up to 48 again. There's another big hit. 23 hit points remaining. 1 hit damage there, up to 42. 34. Oh, 22. And down to 6 hit points, but she broke then. So now she's running, and Zariel will chase her and try to hit her a few times. But she gets away. How unlucky is that? If we had killed his guard here, that would have been so freaking amazing. But she got away. Now she could die while retreating, but spoilers, she doesn't. She's in the territory next to this one. So she killed one of the Angels of Fury and a little bit of other things. We found the Boots of Quickness for the Angel of Fury. All of the other equipment is lost because the captain ran away. So Zariel was the only one to be able to pick up items, and he only had boot slots available. So really, really sad battle outcome for us, but hopefully this will scare away this mother of monsters from doing similar attacks in the future. Also, really importantly, it takes him away. She was in the north defending the castle up there, and now she's not there. So that's worth noting. Let's move on. There's a lot to talk about. Here's a water-filled cave, which gives us what does it do? One water gem and 1 earth gem. Back to messages. There was a magic site in Mark. The water sphere. This one's awesome. This one's awesome. We should have found this one a long time ago. 3 water gems. Well, we don't need the boosting of water rituals, but 3 gems from one thing. Very nice. No other magic sites. A bit of blood slaves. We still have these unrest and raid things that I don't know what to do about. Then we get to the battles, and let's just dive into it here. This is a raid against a little bit of province defense that we will win. In the Cerulean Sea, we are being raided by a Wraith Lord, and he will kill this army here. No biggie. Yeah, not that interesting. Then in the Windswept Desert. This one's interesting. We have a little bit of province defense, and we have 1 archer and our bird initiate. I think he's on Templeflesh, Ironskin, and then one cast, or Dust to Dust, or something like that, and then move up. So he does move in, and now we finally see something here that's a little bit interesting. We'll let him fight, but he's got attack skill 10, which is, I don't think I ever noticed how low that is. I've been using these guys a lot, and they are really poop. To be quite honest, they are really bad. Like I don't think he lands a hit in this battle, does he? No, he gets hit a little. Then the archer moves in, dies, and because half of the army is dead, he now routs. So we lose this raid. That was a little disappointing. We didn't lose him, but still, that's not fun. Anyway, let's move on to Kolemergor. Another raid by a Wraith Lord, and he will murder this province defense. No biggie. Windsong Forest. This is us raiding with our little bit of meh. It's not an army, but it's a ramshackle of different troops, and I mean, this is not interesting to watch. We have taken control of the province in Pusitinia. This is the scout I moved in, and he just took the province. Very nice. No contest. Then there's Belentowen. That'll teach him to put in some province defense. This is the raid on a province where there's only 1 troll. With Inberge, who's actually, he should be firing his bow. Yes. And even with, how much precision? Precision 41. Oh, he hit. Okay, good. And will he hit the second time here? No, it doesn't look like it. Did he get any kills? I'm interested. Adventurer, no kills. But he did damage the troll, so it's not doing nothing. Then there was a battle in the hole. This is Shenton counter raiding or reclaiming his cave province. And we only had a little bit of one level of province defense in there, so that's not really anything. But well, it's worth noting what kind of group we see up here. These are just 2 mages with some guards. He's doing a Ludo Conflagration with some fire gems, and then a level 3 death mage here. And he's doing Soul Vortex with him, which also worth noting, apparently that does not affect allies. And that's not how I read the spell description, so that's worth noting and worth knowing. And he does use this guy as sort of a melee combatant, which is interesting, because it's not a very good guy. Like, this is even lower than those Buried Initiates. He doesn't really have decent stats. I guess it's decent stats. But using him as a melee combatant is kind of interesting. With the Soul Vortex, of course, and then vulnerability, he'll be fine. We took a control of another province without any contest. Then there was a battle in Ministra. This is Shenton's big army. They didn't go north as I had feared they would. But this is his smattering of an army. A lot of whites, which is a concern. And this is Tinium's defending fortress. Lots of spellcasters in here. Damn. Yeah, that's a lot of fireballs and fire elementals coming in. There's an interesting thing about this battle that we will note in a second. Right now we can enjoy the carnage. Shenton's army are like, if you look at Avas and Raspal, they sort of have one type of troops with some mage support, and the other guy has devils and a troop with some mage support. With Shenton, it's just, we have elementals and undead and pale ones and a crap, and skeletons and wolves and tentacle monsters riding camels, and a centaur tentacle monster. Everything. It's just really a mishmash of different things. But the important thing about this battle is this number down here. 55 losses, most of which I believe is to friendly fire. Yeah, if you look here, not a lot of them die to actually be fighting Atinium's troops. Instead, rather, a whole lot of these guys die to their friendly fire and burning from fire elementals and such. Like 8 whites and very important up here, Shentonine Pale One Flail Infantries, 11 die of those. Those can go underwater. I think those are the only water-capable troops. Except the undeads, of course, in this army. So very nice to see that Atinium's armies are still doing something here. Then there was a great battle just a normal battle in Lombardia. This is a raid by us with a bit of mages and no province defense to really answer. So they will take that province. Then we see something different here, which is another one of our small raids. We even have some frogs in here. But then there's this on the other side. So this is all province defense, and that makes the battle not that interesting, I suppose. It's not completely uninteresting, but one important thing is that Shenton has dumped, this is like 3 or maybe even 400 gold of province defense in this province here. So that's interesting. And our little mage group here, they do set up sort of a, they do give it a little bit of a fight, But in the end, they will succumb to the superior numbers. Lumbarinofera. So buried consorts cost 160 and buried initiates 80. So if it's 400 gold worth of province defense, then that was worth it for him, which is sad for us. Our frogs didn't get any kills. Oh well. That was in Farah, which is here in the middle of everything. So for some reason he has decided to PD dump here. I don't know why. But in the end, it did win him a battle here, so it's worth it. And then in Hailmire, this is where we send in... I'm really sad that I ended up spending our 2 angels on this. It's not really necessary. Yeah, they are gonna kill that province defense. No biggie. This is not the one. Hailmire. We lose 4 wolves even, despite that. And in Ashenton, what do we have here? This is just us reclaiming a province. We're against 1 level of province defense. In Deep Black Sea, this is us attacking the fort of Atinium in the water. And it only had a little bit of province defense, so it's not really that interesting. We don't have the best troops in the water, though. So we will take some losses here. But we killed the leader by attacking rear, I think. Not sure if we even did that, but we did end up killing the leader, and then they surrounded and murdered everything. In the Deep Black Sea, we lost a little bit of tridents. 3 tridents, no biggie. Then in Lauria, this is the fort. This is our Grand Army, which it looks a lot smaller here. Where does these guys come from? Ghoul from Lauria? Huh? We don't have ghouls in our army. What in the world? Anyway, on the other side, there is no patrollers. So we just end up killing everything here. There were some flyers that land down here. And very important, this guy. Did you see that? Did you see that? Look at this. This guy here is in motion. 1 damage, got the kill. And we will swarm forward and murder everything. No losses, and our frogs got a kill. Haha! Ha! Anyway, that was in Lauria. Why did we have ghouls? We have 5 ghouls. Oh. I just don't remember us having ghouls. I don't even know where they are. Interesting. There was a battle in the Great Woods. This is between Avas and Rosbart again. And they're just taking this fort. No contest. Actually, these Avasian Javelin warriors are pretty good. Normally, Javelins only have an ammunition of 2. But when you are a wall defender like this, you get unlimited ammo. So these javelins that you can normally only throw a few of, they are really, really good. And you get unlimited ammo of them. And on top of that, these guys are, they are just really strong troops. Oh, they're only protection 13, but that's a lot for an archer type. They also get a boost to range for being on the walls. And they have tower shield and everything. So, these guys as fort defenders are pretty nice. You get them for free. What's not to like? They didn't really lose anything. Is that all the battles we see that turn? Yeah, it is. Okay. An unexpected event has occurred in the Triton Sea. Promise to become +20. A monster has arrived. A monster of the deep has been stirred in the Devil's Pond, and that will result in a battle. But we have an event in the Mudwater Caves in the south of Contum. Just get some more income as well. Let's see the battle in the Devil's Pond. So this guy here, the Untamed Sea Serpent, ends up attacking us here. And it looks big and scary. It has poison. It seems like everything underwater has poison. Coral spears, like a coral knife. Everything just has poison. Yeah. It lasts for 2 rounds of combat, and then it goes down. We didn't lose anything. No. So, sort of anticlimactic for a big sea monster. A sneaking enemy was discovered by local militia to do. And I think, yeah, we found these groups, this group of heretics. False prophet who summons monsters. And yeah, heretics. And this is just our province defense, so the province defense in there ended up finding some NPC troops of their own. We have completed the construction of palisades. We started to destroy the fort in the Black Sea. Walls are mortally damaged, so we are breaking into this fort here slowly. Fort in Shem. We did get this. Did we watch that battle? No, I don't think we did. But it's just a little bit of a province defense. I must have skipped some battles. Hold on. In Shem. I don't think we did the Mir either. Hold on. My bad. Oh yeah, this one's important. We have... This is our raid to the north, where we have Peregrine, the Angel of Fury, in here, who I sent in just to support the raid a little, because I know he was trying to defend this province earlier, and we see nothing less than 4 Wraith Lords in here. So we have Sathmok, we have Kamul, we have Okedur, and I can't believe I was called Sauron the Wraith Lord. We also have Kuskon. Okay, it's not named. But we see the first flame spirit of Shenton. Probably site searching, I can imagine. So 4 Wraith Lords, that's pretty tough. Peregrine, we're lucky that he's one of those that I didn't give any weapons, so he has a Holy Scourge, which is triple damage versus undead. And he will fly to the back in a minute. In the center, we are definitely losing. Well, we have some white Banes coming around the corner. Banes, Wonder what the difference is between a white and a Bane in this context. Unfortunately, Peregrine will not land at the rear like he's supposed to. Instead, he ends up attacking the archers. Province defense archers, mind you. So he's spending a lot of time doing that. He kills the province defense leader as well. In the middle here, the mute... Is that the mute guy? No, it's not even. He's deceased? How could they be deceased? Weird. But our Banes end up killing one of the Wraith Lords, so that's nice. Now Peregrine is freed up. He's enraged and everything. So now we would like him to go and kill these Wraith Lords, but no, he's going after the archers. Stupid Peregrine, because now they're at the rear, of course, but god dang it. Peregrine, and now our army routes, and so will Peregrine, so he flies away. Useless, useless. And our Banes get caught on a Will-o'-the-Wisp. Can't hit it, so they die. That was a really unfortunate battle. They just lost one Wraith Lord that is immortal, so that didn't really do anything, and we lost a whole lot of different things here. It's really a failed raid. Luckily, Peregrine survives and runs away to a nearby province. Then in assist, we have a Shenton raid, right? And we see him using these the shamans, which are astral and nature mages, which means he can use them for communions and stuff. That's really important. Let's have a look at that. That's up here, and it came from in here. This is the only place I've seen. We've seen Shenton build a temple, so we will raid that this turn with 2 angels and bring it down, because he's clearly doing that just to get those shamans, and I can only imagine what he will be using that for in a communion. Don't want him to have that. Let's get rid of it. Then there's a battle in Shem. I think we saw that one. It's pretty straightforward. It's our 2 angels here. There's a Serial now with Samwise. And I must admit I forget where Frodo was going this turn. He died. In the Typhian Sea. Right, this is our counter Wraith. And a little bit of an army here. So he's doing the usual script here, and he moved in where I predicted, so that's nice. Now he's coming in here. He's gonna start killing our province defense. They have trouble hitting him as usual, but then, in comes our counter wraith. He's dancing around a little bit, trying to find a way in. Come on. There he goes. And okay, so now he's hitting him. Meanwhile, the other guy has other things to hit. He's regenerating and everything. We do get Tangle-Wind, but he breaks out of it and starts hitting him again. Here comes some skeletons that we've summoned, which is really nice, and it takes up his attacks, and we end up killing him. So really good. The counter wraith did his job. Somehow he got cursed. I'm not sure where that came from. Oh, it has a death curse. Oh, I didn't know. What does that do to you? Very unlucky. Increases the chance of getting permanent afflictions. Ah. Damn it. Ah, that makes them even worse. Alright, Typhian Sea. That was the one here, and the Lombari. Alright, so I just skipped those before we did that. And did we do this one here in the Great Woods? No, I don't think we did. My bad. Yes, this is a big Avasian army attacking Rasbat. So he must be getting a little confident. He knew that the golden cow was in here. That has a never healing wound as well. It's down to 20 hit points. Oof. That is not good. Oy. Alright. Big army. Big confidence. He's gonna try. Both of them casting Divine Blessing at the same time. Now we know there's also some magma eruption and heat from hell being cast. But most of the Rasbadian troops are, of course, fire immune, or at least very fire resistant. So they don't really care about all this fire stuff. Now in they go fighting, and it looked like Avas had a lot of troops, but these devils and these destroyers of flame, they are just chopping down Avasian troops like it's butter, bread and butter. And in comes skeletons, and in comes everything. The Howl was cast by Avas, I think. They're routing too. So the wolves come in and then they rout. And in the end, another defeat for Avas. Not good for Avas at all. Alright, let's take a little bit of a step back here and we'll have a look at this war up here. Also, I have some announcements we should go through. Let's see. It has finally been announced that Atinium has left the game. Not Atinium, but the player playing Atinium, which is really sad. It's bad news. It's good news in that it's better if you are leaving the game to at least make it known, and no hard feelings. But it's better to just come out and say that I don't want to play anymore, whatever, and then we move on. But it's of course a big loss for the game as a whole, and for us specifically, because it was my ally, and we were hoping that she would come back and start murdering Shenson here. So that's sad. Then a good thing has been announced, and that is that we have already found a sub. That's of course great. That someone will come in and take over this year. In principle, that is a really good thing, and I'm happy about that. Then, the big problem here is that this is the player who was playing Sifiligal, and that player may not really like me so much. I never exchanged any words with him while he was playing the nation up here, and still haven't. Meanwhile, the Shenton player, who's the host and orchestrated this substitute here, is I think friends with the player who's taking over this nation here. So I'm sure they've already discussed or will be discussing the future of Atinium, and I'm sure it includes it doesn't include a war between the two of them. I'm sure. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It's hard to say. The big thing is, if this player wants revenge for what I did to him, then, he can definitely get it. I will try, of course, to do some diplomacy and sway him to my side. I am totally willing to cede everything that Atinium owned before back to him. I think part of that has to do with why Shanton moves down here, because he will cede this land to that player, I think, and then focus on me, and then team up with him, and they will destroy me together. I think that I have a feeling that this is what's gonna happen. I know gamers, and I know this guy who's playing Shanton. He's been lobbying a lot in the Discord chat to get people to these other players to rally against me. He's really trying. I think it's a good thing because he's desperate. He's desperate, and it's nice to see. But I don't think right now we're winning in the grand scale of things, I think, but I don't think that's gonna continue, especially if this player comes in and marches these two armies on Friwald. There's just no way I can stop him if he takes these two. There's almost 1,000 troops here, and good troops. I think they are on auto cast new spells, and probably every turn recruitment he will come in with so much money and everything, and he will be reclaiming the whole thing here. It's gonna suck. Yeah. So what are we doing this turn here? Boy, it's getting really complicated, and I don't really know how to do this anymore, but we're just gonna go through it in my own ramshackle fashion here. Let's start in the water. We're moving more troops in here. Everything in here to siege down that fort. I think we can crack it next turn, and then we will be able to assault it and take it. That would be good. Then we have a way to get income down here. We just need to hold it. I was a little bit scared about this for this army here, that he would send every water-capable troop from here into the water, and he will probably take this one, honestly, and then he has a chance of coming down here. But looking at it, there was only like 50 pale ones here, and how many? I found a new button here. If you press C, you can get this. So he has 2 white shamans, which are level 2 death mages. This guy is not underwater capable. Oh, the cave crabs. Ah, right. They might be able to go into the water. That would be bad. Okay. The whites are water capable. You know what? He probably has enough to challenge me in the water here and destroy my army. That's not good. We have Gunthermund coming up here as well. He's going to search, but then next turn he will be able to get in here before they attack. Yeah, damn, that's unfortunate. I was hoping I could get the fort before he engaged my army. Damn it. Oh well. We will still try to crack this fort. Let's see what he does with his army. I think he will move down here and probably move on his own capital, but it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns before he's here. So in Shanton and on here, we could attack the castle right now. The fortification has already been breached, but I am not sure what exactly is in here, so I will not do it. I will storm the castle with one dude who's on retreat, so we get an accurate estimate of what is in the fort. Also very important to note is these magic sites. Some of them just give gems, but then we see this the crypt underneath, which is 3 death gems, but more importantly, conjuration bonus. And that's amazing. Like this one is amazing. Just imagine what I could do with this thing. When we cast the Well of Misery, 20% reduction. When we cast the Heavenly Wrath, 20% reduction, and I'm sure this is where he's been casting, first of all those Great Eagles, but also his Wraith Lords. So that's a lot of death gems every turn that he's been able to save. And I would like to assault it, but I'm not confident that we could take it, so we will poke with Roderick and see. Then I'm moving the entire army on top of Shenton. And that will again take away his recruitment of cap-only stuff for one turn. We will also destroy the province defense, which is worth a few hundred gold. We will raid here with Herman and Ruprecht, and a sort of a smaller army. We will raid up here with Meriadoc and Bilbo and Balthasar, who's been hiding here. And finally take out this production here, which is the production of these shamans. I don't think I want him to have it. He clearly built that temple only to get that. So we're taking that away from him. Then here in the Mere, I am now moving everything we have nearby in there, along with Serial, Samwise, and Peregrine, who is here. So 3 Angels of Fury down here. And a whole lot of Buried Initiates, mostly Buried Initiates. We also have 2 Buried Consorts. Yes. Oh, Vitrich. Where is Vitrich? He's here. He has searched this province. He didn't search this one. I don't want him to die and lose us this thing here. Yeah, that is a lot of province defense, and he's probably going to boost it even further, but Malicious isn't that bad. Problem is we don't actually have a lot of troops. And like you saw before, our troops lost the actual fight, which is bad. But we didn't have any skeleton spammers in here. We only had 2 mages, so that's probably why. Now we will be bringing in a lot more mages, but less troops. So yeah. There will also be 1 less Wraith Lord, of course. And we will have 3 times the amount of Angels of Fury. I'm confident we can take it. Good. That's sort of this Shenton war. Then in the south, against Kuntum, we are pulling Bob back to support in Gilgad, and I kind of want to sit on top of his capital again. I'm sending in a large, small group of mages, many of which will just... What am I doing here? Okay, let's adjust that, like so, and so. Yes. See, I want to move them in. They will just be skele spamming a little bit, and then they run away. So they leave behind the Buried Initiates, who will then fight a little bit. They shouldn't do dust to dust. Oops. Let's do your script. There. They will probably die, but there will be a lot of skeletons, and I'm hoping that this will result in a whole lot of friendly fire, or even better, if he's not patrolling, we will just take the province. But otherwise, our mages will retreat to nearby provinces. If he's coming in here, we have a decent army supported by Bob, and Bob will probably... Well, he's going to spread Dominion. I'm also recruiting yet another High Priest. Now, one thing to note is that the Dominion in here is actually rising now. In here it's up to 5 also, and in here it's 4. Everyone else, well, this one is at 1. So we are pushing our own Dominion a little bit, but I think we see him recruiting some priests in here. If he detects what's going on, and if he has recruited a few priests, we might have real trouble doing the whole Dominion kill thing. And I'm starting to think that I should have just, way back, like 10 turns ago, I should have just gathered a good army and killed Kuntum, because I have to move back, and it's just taking up a lot of resources that I could be throwing against Shenton. Right here, we are sitting on top of his fort with the throne. We can't really kill it with these 2 alone. We aren't even bringing it down. Also, another problem here is the supplies. The supplies are a maximum of 100, and we use 204 and 60. Oh, we only use... Excuse me? Oh, we use 170 here and 60 here. So we can't move our army in. We are moving in what we can. Basically, this is the army, the group that takes up all the supplies. So we will be moving them out together with Gunderic. They will be moving back here again. In here we will then move these guys just to sit on top of the fort for 1 turn. And the adulation of the writhing flesh mother on monsters is in here. I checked her movement, and I don't think he has a laboratory. He could build a laboratory here, of course, to just teleport a new space to a new space. The important thing is that he can't teleport right now. So that's good. But he can move here, and he can move into these two provinces, and he can also move over here. Now I'm assuming. Okay, so I just realized that he can build a laboratory here, and then, but it's 250 gold that he might just lose. So I don't think he will do that, but he could build a laboratory here and then teleport out anywhere to another place. Otherwise, I think he would move. Would he move in here? He almost lost his god this turn here. But he will probably move in here and then be ready to retake his fort. And that's what I'm assuming will happen. So we aren't gonna insist on sitting here. The army in here will probably move further on next turn, and we're gonna push north. Well, it'll depend on what this army does, but if we scare or get him to move that back into own territories, then I'm happy. The real thing is the whole Atinium coming back as a different player thing. That's gonna screw up the whole thing. Now, if you look at Avas and Raspat is finally winning, which is really bad. I don't want to fight Raspat. I think he will win. I think he will actually beat Avas here. It looks like that's what's just gonna happen. And at some point, Avas will probably. I don't think they're ever gonna have peace. Probably not. I'm sending some messages, but we'll get to that. Okay, I've rambled a lot. Let's see, in Quantum, we're sending the sacreds back, yeah. Doing some buffs in here. We do have a good province defense in here if he moves out. I don't think he's gonna move out. He's content to just play his turns. He's not staling ever, so he's just playing his turns. Portis staled this turn, which is unfortunate. Doesn't really matter. It makes me tempted to go for his territories, which I think I could, but the caveat as to that is that right now Shenton is trying to get everyone to attack me, and that if I start claiming more thrones, like claiming this throne and claiming this throne, then that will definitely happen. So let's destroy Shenton before we start claiming thrones. That's the idea. Okay. Let me see if I have covered everything. This counter wraith will just take this province back. So I don't really want to claim these provinces anymore. But we are going to do it. It's going to be a few turns. It has been announced that Atinium's been taken over. It's also been announced that it's not going to be within the first week. It's going to be like a week, which means 2 or 3 turns in the future. So that's good. We got a new water mage here. He's moving out. Let's do the forging. We're forging a wave breaker in here, which is a cool item. This guy here gives this spell here automatically at the start of a battle, which would help us win a war underwater. I think that would be really good for us. And it gives water breathing to whoever carries it. So we can give it to some guy that I really want to have go underwater, or maybe even an angel, and send them underwater and support armies with friendly currents around. That could be really cool. So I'm hoping that is okay. Then boost of quickness here. Up here we are doing another dancing trident. And here we are doing an armor of knights and a contact hill giant. In the capital we are forging a ring of regeneration. We are also going to start forging, I can show them here, a cool item that I discovered, this one here, the elixir of life, which is fire and nature, not a very common path combination. And what it does is it gives you an extra life. It also slows down aging. I don't care about that. It gives you an extra life. So when a unit carrying this bottle dies, they will basically come back with full health in the same battle, I think. And that's really, really good. You can imagine putting that on an Angel of Fury. If Frodo had it in that battle, then I would probably have won. They also, when they die, they take a lot of damage and they get to do the blood vengeance back to whoever dealt that damage to kill them. So we get that effect, and then we get it again if they die twice. And these guys aren't that expensive. We get when we use a hammer, we get the discount on both types of gems. So it's 8 and 8 instead of 10-10. Pretty good. I had it on monthly fortune, and I will put it back on that. So Ergoborn will be forging those, and I won one basically on every Angel of Fury, just running around with those. Sounds good to me. Then we are forging to do anything else here. No, we're doing another Heavenly Wrath, and we're doing another Wraith Lord. With research, I think it will amount us to we will be at 80 death gems again once we hit Conjuration level 8, or maybe we will have to go one more turn. We'll find out. It'll be okay. Anything else? Blood hunting, yeah. No forging down here. Oh yeah, the Thumb, our new flame spirit, is gonna be a forger because she has a bad research compared to our other fire mages. Compare it to just normal, like this guy has 15. So you're gonna be a forger, and you're gonna forge a dragon helmet. Then that's it here. Moving Spiccato out. You should get a fire gem, at least one. And moving in here, Phoenix Power and Incinerate in case we see this Wraith Lord raiding in there. He might try that. But also, very important, our research next turn will give us control undead. So every one of our buried consorts that I have out of the field, I have taken away Horde of Skeletons from the last 2 slots. With the intent that then they can choose whatever spell they want. Right now I can't script them to do control undead because we don't have the spell yet, but in the next turn before the battles we will get it. So I've just opened it up so that they can choose whatever, and I'm hoping that if he goes into battle with a Wraith Lord, he will choose control undead on his own. That's my hope. Yeah. Let's see if that happens. It would be amazing if we could start stealing the Wraith Lords off of Shenton. Wouldn't it be fun? I'm sure he will probably either already have or will research Thaumaturgy level 5 to get the same effect, and then we can steal them back and forth. But I think I have easier access to death mages than he does. That's my hope. We're still cut off from getting money up here, which sucks. Oh, we're forging Dancing Trident. I always said that. We are gonna be building the fortress up in here. My goal for this current stage of the game is to always be building always be working on building the infrastructure up. I know I neglected that for a lot of the mid game. We should invest our money in getting more forts because it will be and upgrading the forts we already have. Because it will be worth it in the long run, and this is a profitable province already, so building the fort up will give us a lot more money. We still have 6 years to go in this game, more than we've already played, so it should be worth it still. Okay, good on that. Let's see. Moving a lot of guys out to site search around. We've got this, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we can recruit these Deer Tribe Shaman in here, which is a really easy access to some low-level nature mages, and I should do one more in here. Just one more. I'm doing a Buried Father in here, and I should do a Buried Initiate somewhere. We did a Priest in here. We could do an Initiate here, and an Initiate down here. I think they are getting a little bit outdated at this point, sadly. Attack 9 is just real bad. But I don't see a lot of other things that I can spend my gold on. Oh, hold on. It would be like 1 man for 45, Master Keeper. Wait a minute, 49 Istana's Warriors. That may be okay. No one else is bidding on the mercenaries at this point in the game, so I can probably bid low and get him. I will. I will. Where do we want them, though? We could use them to attack Quantum. That may be okay. Where would I put them? Like here? We have also the option of attacking Portis. My main problem here is that I don't know whether or not we get them if the province is conquered before they come in. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So, And using them to siege Quantum is not really an ideal way to spend that money. Here, no, but I would put them in here. But then again, I don't know if I don't think we will get attacked in here though. So I will put in the mercenaries here. Sure, let's do it. Stanis Warriors for 40 men for 49 gold. It might be trash troopers, but it's like if it's less than 2 gold per troop, sign me up. I will bid 1 above. The Bowmen for 60 gold. 3 gold per troop. Maymore. Master Gibber for 1 man for 45 pounds of gold. I might go in and I can check these in the database and see if any of them are like worth it, and then I might do it, but otherwise not. Excuse me. Yeah. We're moving out Inuthu here. The new guy got a hammer, and then the more experienced one will be the one we use in battle. He's gonna grab a water lens and 2 water gems and move out. We have some equipment in store. Not anything I want to give to him specifically. And I'm not giving it to anyone because we have 2 new thugs coming in next turn that we need to kit out. We have enough for 1 of them almost. Not quite. See, the problem is we need another fire helmet. But we don't have the gems. Right, I was thinking about Friwald here. You know what, Friwald? You get retired. Put these guys in here. That guy there, and then Friwald will go home and deliver those. So when he's on the top of the laboratory, we can at least decide whether or not we will use them. And I don't think this fight will not be a problem. Like if you look here, there's no real units in here right now, so not a lot of it. He has some mages, of course. How many of them will he be patrolling with? Tough to say. He will probably expect me to make a noob mistake and just attack this fort. And I'm not gonna. So I don't think he's patrolling in here. He doesn't think I would go here. I'm learning to read this guy. I'm trying. Okay. I think we've covered everything at this point. But you can always let me know in the comments down below if you want to know anything specifically about this turn. I'm saving the games and saving the turns, so I can always go back and answer a question if you want to look up anything for this specific turn. I can just go back and write a comment diddly-doodly about it. So let me know if you have any questions, anything you want me to look into for you. But that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more Dominions 5 coming up. See you then. Bye-bye.